I have random thoughts in my head, and sometimes I let them come out of my mouth. Alright guys, welcome back to Random Thoughts. It is the DMarie
and Ashley.
And we wanted to talk about medicine. So for those of you who don't know, and I probably didn't mention it yet, but I was recently really sick to the point I got blood clots and I've been in and out of the hospital. And I was just telling Ashley how I feel like since I got sick, I just feel sicker than when I originally got sick. And she was telling me that, what were you saying?
Well, I was just explaining to her that, like, whenever I get sick, even if I just have a headache, I just refuse to take any kind of pills or medicine at all. Like, if I get a headache, I'll just go lay down. Or, like, I'll use, like, my Bath & Body Works lavender pillow spray.
And you know the funny thing is when I grew up, that's how my mom was.
Yeah.
Like, to the point we picked ginkgo off the trees. We had herbs that grew in the house. Like, we turned to vitamin C by drinking orange juice, fresh squeezed.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't just do medicine. And I'm like, I swear, I feel like I've gotten older. I've just relied on medicine. Like, if I'm in pain, I grab a pain pill. It's like, when did I start doing that? Like, I used to soak in hot water baths to relieve pain. Or, turn on a steam thing or something. Like, I don't know, I feel like we've become too reliant on.
Well, definitely, and I think that's the way that the government wants us to be, is reliant. I mean, the American economy is based on an instant gratification, whether it's, shopping or, our own health. Like, when, 10, 15 years ago, they weren't advertising for medications in magazines and on TV. The way that it is now is if, you look at an ad in a thing or on TV, oh, my legs hurt when I go to bed at night, I must have restless leg syndrome.
Right.
Or, oh, my headaches are, every once in a while more than I think that they should be. I need this special migraine medication. Mm-hmm. And so now, rather than, you going to a doctor and telling them their symptoms and then the doctor telling you what you have and subscribing you something, now what happens is people are going to their doctors and saying, hey, I was watching this thing on TV, or I, saw this ad and I think I need that. And a good doctor will be like, no, you don't need that. But most doctors, because they do get paid to be able to dispense these medicines, will be like, okay, if you feel that that's something that you need, we'll go ahead and get that for you. Yeah. And so that's why even if I go to the doctor, and they prescribe me something, a lot of times I won't even go and pick it up at Walgreens. I'll look at the medication that they give me and I'll go home on Google and be like, homeopathic alternative to blank, and whatever medicine it is that they prescribe, because I feel like there's always a natural way to,
take care
fix
of things.
everything.
Yeah. And I totally agree. I saw a commercial. That's the one thing I do like, is I saw a commercial where they were talking about how if you have a cold, taking antibiotics will create superbugs and not necessarily fix the problem. And I'm like, I'm glad that someone is finally saying something. Don't just take an antibiotic because you think you're going to fix it. It's actually sometimes making things worse.
Well, on top of that, I know that when I had mono or something like that, I took an antibiotic or something, and what they said is you should really only take an antibiotic. Well, my mother-in-law told me you should really only take an antibiotic when you really, really need it. Mm-hmm. Because if you're just taking an antibiotic every time you get the flu or a cold or something like that, then if you have something really bad going on with you, your body's going to become immune to those antibodies. And on top of that, the other thing that I wanted to bring up about the medications is that when you take medications, if you notice whenever you see the ads on TV, it'll say side effects are blah, 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 and all these horrible sounding things. Yeah. Because the way that it works is that even though it's repairing one thing, it ends up hurting something else. Yeah. So then you have to take another medicine for whatever happens as a side effect from that other thing. Yeah. And it just becomes this deadly cycle of constantly taking all these medicines, and it's like, why even start?
I agree.
Yeah.
So I feel like starting now, I really want to work on, I've been dealing with a lot of pain, but I think I'm going to move more into heating pads and warm things. But guys, let us know, how do you feel about medication, and do you reach for the more homeopathic way to fix it, or are you one of the stereotypical people who just go, hey doctor, I need this? So comment below and let us know what you do. All right, the random question of the day is, do you ever think your dreams are memories of your past lives?
Oh my gosh, I feel like this should be a whole nother episode. I thought we were going to do this as an episode.
We should.
It's weird. I sometimes debate with myself on this because a part of me like believes kind of like along those same lines, like the whole deja vu thing.
Yeah.
Like a part of me almost feels like when you have deja vu that it's because you're like somehow interconnecting with the spiritual version of yourself that has also doing like what you have done or you know what I'm.
Yeah, I understand.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, as long as she gets it.
I don't know. I've never thought it was like, oh, from my past life. I have always felt like it could be a message for, you know, your future life.
Right.
But I don't know. Sometimes I have those dreams where I'm just kind of like, oh, wow, that was kind of back in the slave days. I wonder if I ever did that. So, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you. This should be another episode. So stay tuned next Monday. We will definitely talk about this again. But you let us know down below. Do you believe your dreams are past lives? Check you later. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Bye.
Hey, don't just watch Random Thoughts. Be a guest. Email me at DMarie82@gmail.com and tell me what you want to talk about.